Hey kids, you like crappy video games? Well, I don't, but I only have the money to buy crappy video games. So today we're gonna review Marvel Action Pack or something. What the fuck? Right off the bat, you know this game is gonna suck ass. When it has to advertise, it has 10 exciting games inside. Ooh. Or look at this. Sharpen your skills with Wolverine Escape. That's really close to a French word called merde, which means shit. Get green with Hulk versus. Wow, you know when your game advertises you can get green, I don't think it's a really good game. So there it is, Marvel's Action Pack, with such memorable games as Iron Man's Flight Test or Hulk's Versus. Hulk's versus what? I'm gonna start with Wolverine Escape. The first thing you'll notice about the game is that you're unable to start the game. You might as well click in the emptiness because nothing happens when you press on start game. What you actually need to do is click on the level itself. Because logic. The game opens up on a cinematic. You see, I don't know, Storm's brother trying to escape the evil military from confinement because the military do that. So as he escapes, he unleashes electricity around and bursts a light, and then he jumps into the sky, explodes, and the game starts. So here's what you need to do. Basically, the point of the game is to free your mutant's friend from confinement. So you'll need to avoid the cameras, the lasers, the robots, etc. Now that's all fine and good, except, I don't know, I never really thought as Wolverine as the sneaky type. And I could talk about the game, I guess, but all you need to really know is that this is panel heaven. Everywhere you go, there's panels. It's only panels. You check panels, you gotta check that panel. And, you know, they're mostly tutorials, I guess. So you can just tell me, well, Fakafon, if you don't want tutorials, skip them. But you can't, because those panels tell you exactly what you need to do to finish the level. Because if you don't know, you just don't know. You get to this wire thing, it says cut the red one. If you don't read the panel, you don't know. You get to a door, you need to enter a code. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. But you wouldn't know that if you didn't read the panel, so you gotta read all the goddamn panels. This game is a fucking panel. Period. Next fucking game. So this is another game with Wolverine called Search and Destroy. And this time it's not a side-scroller, it's a go-everywhere scroller. Well, this game is definitely better than the other one, but it's still not a very good game. The panels are still there, but they're not nearly as useful and or annoying as last time, so at least it's that. You can pretty much figure it out on your own, you don't need to read it. What you basically need to do is you go around the levels and you kill some robots, and you just need to find the exit, or the key card to get to the exit. Now, it's all well and good, but no, it's not well and it's not good. First of all, you need to be perfectly aligned with the enemies to hit them, because the hit detection is really wonky, and sometimes you'll just claw through nothing. The level design is really poor. I mean, you just go from point A to point B, and it doesn't look like there's any rhyme or reason, so anything. You can only attack from left and right, which is fine, but seeing as most of the enemies have range attack, it kinda sucks that you can't just go to an enemy and attack him, you have to go from the sides. But with all of that said, I mean, there is a positive thing I found about this game. I really like that rage meter you got. I mean, the more you kill some enemies, the more rage you have, and when you're in rage, you hit a lot harder and you regenerate your health. That's pretty cool. I like it. However, this is something that usually doesn't bother me, but in this case it really does. But the graphics and animations in these games, they really suck! I mean, I don't know if you've seen the first game, but it's all gray, and this one is all like dark blue. And Wolverine looks like a rejected sprite from the old X-Men games. Have you seen how he moves? That's really majestic right there. Anyway, this game sucks. Next! It's time for Hulk's Versus. And for some reason, every time I boot the game, it starts on the How to Play menu. Whatever. With a title like Hulk's Versus, I was kind of expecting a fighting game, but it's more like a beat 'em up, which is okay, I guess. And the only part of the game which you could actually call it Versus is when you fight the boss. So, now, unlike the Wolverine games, this one has no in-game story, so you just don't know what the fuck's going on. I guess you're Hulk kicking soldiers because that's what he does? So, yeah, it's a beat 'em up, and it's really monotonous too. You fight some blue soldiers, you fight some slightly bluer soldiers, you fight some pink soldiers, you fight some dudes from Valhalla, and some other dudes. So yeah, there's really nothing to say about this game. You kick some tree stumps and life falls out, and then you fight Wolverine because there's no fucking, I don't know. And then you fight Thor, obviously, because somehow Hulk got to Valhalla, and then you kick Thor's ass, and there's like a line explaining why the fuck you did all this. And it still doesn't make any fucking sense. I guess the only positive thing I can say is that it looks slightly better than the other games I played. Almost. Fuck it, next game. The next game has a clever little name. It's called Hulk Bad Altitude. Get it? Because the point of the game is to jump really high. Are you fucking serious? This is the kind of shit I see in a crappy Flash game on internet, not in a retail price game. But then again, these are Flash games, so what the fuck was I expecting? This game is exactly that. You gotta jump really high. So you jump on robots to jump really high. And that's it! Next game! Okay, so the next game is called Hulk Central Smashdown. The fuck does that even mean? We're gonna beat up a nuclear plant? So the game starts with Hulk, and then you go into a field walking at the speed of light, and then you try to jump on stuff, but it doesn't work because the hit detection sucks ass, and then you die. That's it. Next game. Captain America. You like that title screen? Yeah! Well, it's a beat 'em up. It's a very boring beat 'em up, but at least it's better than the other ones I played thus far. Did I just say beat 'em up? Well, nothing much to say about this one. You just move around, beat up some stupid people who really think they can take you on, and sometimes you have to protect an explosive barrel from a very slow moving arrow. While you're doing that, there's the bad guy taunting you. I think his name is Crossbones, which would explain the crossbow. And you're getting advice from some girl who's called, I forget. And you can throw your shield sometimes. There's nothing to say. So I guess this is as good as any moment to tell you why there's no sound. Well, the reasons are twofold. The first reason is because it's really hard to get sound from this game for some reason. And the second reason is because the sound keeps crapping out, and sometimes so much that I had to turn it off. And speaking of turning off, boop, next game. Iron Man Armored Popper. Nice art. The game opens up in a cinematic again, but this time it's not really the same, as it's more like an ad for a new TV show that's coming out in 2009. Wait, and well, it looks pretty impressive, I gotta say. It's like a young Tony Stark, and goddamn, that's some pretty good shit right there. I'm eager to see the game now. N-E-X-T. Okay, so this is Iron Man's flight test, and it's a huge improvement. Well, first of all, it's an action game now, not a fucking bobble the fuck. And well, you get to do what Iron Man does best, fly around and shoot lasers with his palms. So even though this game is pretty simple, it's by far the best yet. But even then, it's not that fun. You're basically seeing everything there is to do right now. You just fly around, shoot stuff, and collect power-ups as to not die. Speaking of not dying, I think I never died in this game. I don't think it's even possible to die because it just throws you HP all the time. And while it is fun to blast around for a while, it really gets boring after a while because there's nothing happening, so you're just flying around, shooting at, I don't know, flying ice cubes and super snakes. And if it gets too dangerous, you just do a super beam and everyone dies. So yeah, once again, there is very little to say about the game, so we'll just go on to the next one. Iron Man Armory Assault. If you ever thought the target practice in Smash was boring, then get a load of this one. So you're Iron Man again, obviously, and you just point your cursor around and shoot at the targets and you destroy them. Yeah. Well, that's a theory anyway, because in actuality, it's pretty goddamn hard to hit anything in this game. I don't know why. Maybe it's me or the hitboxes, or I don't know, it just sucks. And you can actually die in this game. Yeah, because the targets fight back. What the fuck does that even mean? So I guess this game is a little challenging, but challenging doesn't mean good. In fact, in this case, the challenge is so fucking numb that I just quit the game immediately. Do I really want to do this? I've tried 9 games out of 10 and they all suck ass. Why the fuck would this one be good? How can I expect this to be good, okay? And by the way, this is a sequel. I think we all know what happens when there's a sequel. It sucks ass! I seriously have no idea why the fuck I'm doing this review. Nobody played this, nobody will play this, and I'm just hurting myself playing this shitty game. Why the f... You know what? I'm not gonna do the last game. You know why? Because it's gonna suck ass, I'm gonna get even more angry, and nothing in this putrid pile of shit could be worth anything. Only a fucking idiot would play this game. Alright, this is Fakafon's review of Iron Man Flight Test version 2.0. And honestly, if it's anything like the other game I just played, it's gonna be a huge waste of my fucking time. So you start the game and you can actually choose your armor. Well, that's pretty neat. Well, at least the graphics are better now. The stages are also a little bit more compact, which is actually better in this case, because in the other game you could just fly everywhere, and since there was never nothing, you just fly in the sky and there was nothing. So you pretty much do the same thing as the last game, but it's actually more fun this time, because you get some upgrades sometimes, like you can do some double shots or some triple shots, and if you're not careful you're gonna lose them, so it actually gives you an incentive not to get hit. Life power-ups, well, there's still many. They're not as much as before, so you can actually die in this game. The way you move around is also much better. It just seems like you have more control over your character, and it feels more fluent, it feels better. Using the Nova Beam actually has a purpose in this game, because sometimes the enemies do get overwhelming and your little laser is not enough. And hey, best of all, there's actually some stages in this game, so you can actually breathe sometimes. So when you finish a stage, you actually level up. Your character gets stronger, you can move faster, and it's pretty good actually. And check this out. The background actually changes. It's not always the goddamn canyon all the time. Oh man, I think I might have... You know what? I actually like this game. This is a fun game. Yeah, I mean the other games were crap, but this one is actually fun. I am having fun playing this. It just took 9 games to get there, but hey, at least I finally get a game that's good. And you know what the best of it is? There's a boss at the end. There's a fun boss at the end. And the game's been leading up to that. So you get stronger, you get more power, more armor, more speed, and you finally get to the boss in the final showdown and you kick his ass. Short and sweet game. Perfect. Just how I like it. So, final verdict of the game. Marvel Action Pack. Do I recommend the game? No, because 1 good game out of 10, that's pretty crappy. Now I didn't really talk about the bugs in this game because the major bug was the sound crapping out, but there was also a lot of little glitches, like, you know, the title screen not appearing or the game crashing. That happened. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this piece of shit. So I'll see you next time. Just don't buy this. Please don't buy this.